East Chestnut Street Mennonite Church has a long history in the city of Lancaster. We began hosting community meals weekly, and we began hosting the overnight winter shelter for people experiencing homelessness. And I think all those factors came into play for people to start wondering what we could do that would be a bigger solution. So we came up with this idea that we should get involved in affordable housing specifically for people experiencing homelessness. We just decided to buy one house a couple blocks down from the church and just see if we could figure out how to rent it to a family who needed it. When we identified a house, we paid for it right away with donations from members of the church, which was a huge blessing. And we had tons of volunteers who spent a lot of time rehabbing the house. We also identified a resident, and that was all a great story, but it didn't actually go super well. Our small board was very concerned, like, how's everybody going to respond in the church when we say we're going to do this amazing thing and then it doesn't go really well? But it was a great learning experience for everyone, and people continued to be super supportive even in the face of those challenges. We continued to really focus on our church neighborhood in the early years. We identified another home close by with 2 apartments, so we sort of tripled our inventory. There was a nuisance bar down the street from the church that had become quite dangerous. And so we started reaching out and eventually convinced him to sell that building to us. That provided us with 6 more apartments.
I came on board as a staff person alongside the organization as they were beginning to do work with a consultant on a 5-year strategic plan. I went on vacation and they went on a board retreat. And when I came back, they said, our goal is to grow from 12 apartments and homes to 100 homes in 5 years. How do you feel about that goal? And I sort of took a deep breath and said, well, let's get to work. Every day, hundreds of people in Lancaster County are unhoused without a stable place to call home. That, at the end of the day, is the motivating force for why we're trying to do more as an organization. So proud to say that where we started 3.5 years ago with 12 apartments and homes, we now operate 42 apartments and homes in Lancaster City and beyond, with more projects underway. And I'm just really excited to create more affordable housing options for our neighbors in Lancaster.
I never dreamed that we could continue to grow and expand as we have. God has really provided for Chestnut Housing at each step of the way in terms of partners and people that could help us, funding that we needed, people who wanted to volunteer. At the time we said, let's just buy a house and let's just rent it to somebody who needs it. And that idea that you can affect long-term positive change in the world by just doing that one thing and taking that first step, it just gives me so much joy.